Not a YouTuber, just like making videos. Now, I never gave my opinion on the Carmelo Anthony case because I myself is divided about it. It would have been nice to hear Carmelo Anthony talk or any statements by him. But there's just not enough information for me to come with a logical conclusion. Because, it's not like Trayvon Martin or Cyrus when you have this abundance of information. And, when it comes to Carmelo Anthony, it just seems like, people say, oh, there's a hidden videotape. I watched this videotape of this happening, so it's just, but at the end of the day, at the end of it all, it's about the court case, and the court case is a chess game. The prosecution was playing chess. The defense was playing checkers. Simple as that. You think about the O.J. Simpson case. The O.J. Simpson case, he assembled probably the greatest team of lawyers in human history. But that being said, I think about the Jena 6. Remember that? The Jena 6 I think it's happened in 2006. And this was before the internet really started popping off, or when people just came on the internet just to play video games or whatever. And, so you didn't have this culture of social commentary about who's a coon or whatnot. Yeah, the Jena 6 was pretty big. And supposedly it was about six. It was six. Took place in a town called Jena, Louisiana. 6 black boys beat down a white student because the school had a lot of racial tension there. So 6 black boys beat a 6 black students beat a white student up pretty bad. Gave him a concussion. He had to be rushed to the hospital. It was real serious. And they was trying to charge the 6 with attempted murder. There was a big protest. A lot of people came out. This is back in the days when people showed up, not just do a fucking internet video or YouTube. YouTube didn't exist back then. Thank God. And we were all the black community was on code that this is unfair. Give them something, but you're gonna ruin these kids. Give them like 100 years or some shit like that. The rapper Common came out. And when I mean came out, he went down there to the protest. Other celebrities, I think like Jill Scott showed up. But we're talking about showed up. And the Jena 6, they've even made a documentary about the whole Jena 6 thing. You can even watch it here on YouTube. But it's kind of funny because the irony is that Carmelo's defense could have used the Jena 6 thing, the incident, because here you had students that did really beat another student up pretty bad. But these students were black, the victim was white, and black people are going to automatically side with black people. And Carmelo's defense could have said, well, look at the Jena 6. Look how students, and with the Jena 6, yes, some of them students there were football players. That's fact. Even in the documentary, it shows one of the guys in his football uniform. And they could have said, like, the Jena 6 situation, you had students and, one of them ended up in the hospital with a concussion. So students are capable of committing seriously acts of bodily harm. But going back into Carmelo's defense, people have said that if you go out looking for trouble, as of, the Metcalf brothers did and a few others, don't cry about the consequence. Don't cry about the results. And then going back into Jena 6, I can say, you know what I'm saying, if you want to beat a student down, you know what I'm saying, you might have to deal with consequences that come that way. So it's in me thinking about it, it is like a crazy paradox. But I'm not, you know, I don't have a dog in this fight.